Please tell me about what your life was like before dementia occurred. What was it like? My husband Keith and I have been married for 48 years. It's been a wonderful life together, going out, socialising with our deaf friends. It's been a happy life. Though it's changed, it's still good. When do you believe the dementia began? And what did you notice that made you suspect something wasn't right? I was taking my husband to the hospital and we walked to the bus stop as it's close to our home. There was a lot of people there and I said to my husband, just wait and watch for the 2:09 bus. I was watching for the bus and I looked around and realised my husband was gone. I saw there was another bus stopped in front of our bus and realised that my husband had gotten on the wrong bus. It was very busy, but I thought I should have a few minutes to spare, so I quickly got onto the other bus and found him sitting down. I told him it was the wrong bus and he got off with me, but seemed quite vague. We got on the correct bus and went to the hospital. The checkup at the hospital was before we knew about the dementia. It was for something else, like a checkup maybe for prostate or something. The dementia wasn't picked up until about a year later. I didn't notice any signs during that time. So what did you do after the diagnosis? Nothing much changed until one day my husband kept asking me to go to the hospital. He was repeating that he had a pain in his chest, but he looked all right to me. He was insisting that his chest didn't feel right, so we went to the emergency room. My husband was just standing there, so I was writing notes to explain to the staff that he was deaf and complaining about his chest, but that I wasn't sure what was wrong. They asked me to wait, and normally there's a 2 to 4 hour wait, but they called us straight in to see a doctor. They were looking over my husband and asking questions, but it was the same answers, that I didn't know what was wrong. The doctor seemed to think he was fine, but he kept complaining about this feeling in his chest over and over. They decided to call an interpreter, but we had to wait about 2 or 3 hours for the interpreter to arrive. We were asked the same type of questions, and the doctor suggested that they would like him to stay in hospital for 3 days, which was good as it gave me a little break. So he stayed in hospital and I went home. The next morning I went back to the hospital and they'd already diagnosed him with dementia. So what is your life like now compared to before the diagnosis? What do you find difficult or challenging that you didn't experience before? Yes. Okay, I was going to East Leagues Club with a couple of my friends one day for lunch. I asked him would he be okay at home without me for 2 or 3 hours, and he said yes. So I went out and was home about 2 o'clock. When I arrived home, he was quite angry with me, asking where I'd been. I reminded him that I'd told him earlier I was going out, but he couldn't remember the conversation. I realised very soon after that I couldn't leave him on his own anymore. Time went on and then a staff member from Deaf Services Queensland came and was helping with cleaning and other things. The staff member was working with him to find out what hobbies he would enjoy, and they found out that he liked making model cars, like the one he has here in a box. Lena gave her approval for this and they started doing this along with a few other things, and I noticed my husband's mood gradually improve. So now we come to DSQ every 2 weeks, and on the alternate weeks we attend Deaf Seniors. It's all going very well. Thank you, Vera, for your time today.